So how to go from being a psychotherapist to a coach. And I want you to recognize that you can use this for whether you're a psychotherapist, whether you're a chiropractor, whether you're a consultant, whatever little a massage therapist, physical therapist. When I say going from therapist to coach, it's not necessarily where you're going to just squash your current practice. So it's two things. One is, maybe it is, you're going to scratch that complete business model, or you've thought about coaching, or you want to add this as a leg to your business. In other words, adding this to thinking about this as additional revenue stream, because let's get serious and let's get into reality here. Having a coaching business, the truth is, at this point, it's not regulated. Now, who am I? I'm Mary Bicknell. How are you? Welcome to the Life and Biz Variety Show. And wherever you're watching this on the web, whether you're seeing it live or you're watching the replay, thank you. I want you to share this with somebody who you know who may have considered a coaching business or adding coaching to their current practice. Maybe their private practice. Maybe they are, like I said, a physical therapist, some, chiropractor, acupuncturist, somebody in that practitioner type arena, or they might be a clinician. They might be a psychotherapist, clinical social worker, licensed and marriage therapist. And they're recognizing that coaching industry, you know what? People are making a lot more money in the coaching industry than they are as a therapist. So I'm going to share a little bit about my journey as a licensed clinical social worker, and having had a private practice. I've worked at Johns Hopkins. I've done home health. I've done like everything that you can imagine in the world of therapy and social work. And the shift for me happened when I recognized the inability to be in charge of my own financial future and my time. So I know that you want to start a private practice. And so if you want to start a private practice, I want you to use some of these tips. Maybe you're like, I don't want to do coaching, but I want you to use some of these tips for even building your private practice, whatever that looks like. And of course, some of these are so foundational to you as you grow your business. So the very first thing to think about in growing a practice, whether it's a coaching practice, a therapy practice, a practitioner of any sort practice, is making this decision to do it. Now, I'm going to tell you that my clients are a variety of industries, but they're all solopreneurs to a point, meaning that it's them. They might have a small staff, a couple people helping them out, but it's not a huge business. And so what happens with this, and pay really close attention, because this is one of the failures that so many people who want to have their own business, this is one of the key things that cause failure and why they leave it, or why they're not using their degrees to actually practice what they want to practice. They don't put on their business hat. So this is the first step in these 5 steps. And really there's a lot of steps. So I'm just giving you the basic steps here. Deciding that you are going to be a real business owner. Because the issue is we love to help people. We love it. This is what we do. We love being able to help people. This is why I went into to become a social worker. I made a conscious decision to go into social work as opposed to becoming a psychologist, because I believed that as a social worker, and specifically I have a bachelor's and a master's in social work, and I became a clinical social worker. I knew that that would give me a variety of opportunities. Professional opportunities. I would be able to have a staff. I would be able to run a clinic if I wanted to. I'd be able to have a private practice. I might be able to teach, etc., etc. And of course, it did give me a huge variety. But one of the limitations I recognized is this. When you're working for someone else, they're telling you what to do. And as people who get into becoming a practitioner of whatever sort, the issue is that that's what we're good at. I bet you're really great at helping people. I bet you love that. But I'm sure that the practice of helping people is tarnished in a way because the building of your business is not something that you're taught when you get all your degrees. And so this is where the frustration comes in. You're like, how are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to pay the rent? How are you going to find more clients, more patients, whatever you call your person that you're helping? And so you must master the art of business. You must master the art of building success. So the key here is decide. Decide that you are going to be voracious. Is that right? Ferocious? I don't know. Voracious in learning the art of building a business. I know even though my master's degree was in administrative and planning in the social work field, it still didn't teach me how to actually go out and market myself. No. So it's deciding that you are going to be a student like you were with all your degrees and your license. How hard did you have to study for that license? Let me tell you, you need to study that hard and 10 times harder to build a business. So that's number one. Number two is step number two is making the decision that although you love helping people, that you also are going to be in a position, you're going to put yourself in a position of selling a service that is actually wanted and needed and desired. Now I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but let me help you out here with that. So many times we go into, well, like for me, I'm a trained cognitive behaviorist. Hey, what you think about, you bring about. So I'm like, I can help everybody. I can help children and teens and adults and married couples and single women who need a guy and all of these kind of things. And what I recognized is, and this is what you need to be aware of, although you may be able to help them, when you're doing your marketing, you need to be specific in who you're really speaking to. There's a saying in the marketing world that if you don't narrow your niche, you're speaking to everyone. And speaking to everyone is speaking to no one. Let me say that again. Speaking to everyone is speaking to no one. So in other words, if you're like, oh, I can help everybody. Oh, I'm a physical therapist. I can help everybody. I'm a chiropractor. I can help everybody. I am a psychologist. I can help everybody. Although there might be some truth in that, marketing that way is not going to be helpful. I'm an acupuncturist. For example, I had an acupuncturist client, doctor of medicine, the whole bit. And what happened is because she believed I can help everyone, her practice was small. As soon as she narrowed her niche, and when I say this, I mean pick an arena of people that you really know that you love working with and that excite you, and you know that you are actually going to learn even more how to help them. And when you do that and you speak to that, then those perfect ideal clients, that's what I call them, perfect ideal clients could hear what you have to say. But if you're just like, I'm a therapist, I'm a physical therapist, I'm an acupuncturist, nobody's listening to that. But if you said something like, I'm a therapist who works specifically with kids 15 to 19 all around the issue of bullying or all around the issue of, hormones or whatever it is. Or, I'm a chiropractor and I work specifically with women over 40 who sit all day, have a badass back. If you're very concrete in who you work with, guess what? They're going to hear you and they're going to be like, oh my God, thank God somebody that knows what I'm talking about. So that's another one. Number 3. Once you decide that you're going to be a business owner, really put your hat on and become an expert in that, on how to build a business. Number 2, and you narrow your niche down and you get really tight on it. The third thing is to actually develop a marketing plan, a plan of action that you're going to take in order to find those clients. Now, when I work with my clients, these are some of the things that we look at how to do. We look at what their marketing message is. We look at their actual plan. Are they going to give talks? Right? I built my business by giving live talks. And so I give live talks now, free speaking gigs. And I also, of course, build online. And that's how you're finding me right now. Oh, see how that works? Oh. So a plan, like what is the plan? What is your end goal as far as revenue? So let me give you an example. Maybe you want to have multiple streams of income, which, hello, I highly, highly recommend. So for you, that might be that you want to work one-on-one with people. Maybe you want to run some groups, and maybe you want to actually run those groups in person, but then you want to be able to develop an online process. Maybe you want to just be able to sell a program that you've developed on whatever, 20 ways to lose body fat after you've had your third kid or whatever. See how very specific that might be? Maybe because you're a health coach and or a health practitioner or a dietitian or a nutritionist and you're really wanting to focus. Maybe you have a program that you can automate online and just get paid while you're sleeping. So that could be part of your plan. That was 1, 2. So decide to be a business, get a plan. Okay. Number 4, once you have an idea of how you would like to work, because that's the freedom that you have in having your own business. Once you decide a little bit about how you like to work, part of the big struggle is figuring out how to price your services. I know, I totally understand. Coming from a world of being a therapist or working like I worked at Johns Hopkins, well, there's a job criteria. Here you go. This is what we're going to pay you, Mary. So when I started my own business, my own practice, I had to make the decision of like, what do I want to charge? What do I want to charge if I want to see a client one-on-one? What if I want to do it in a group? What if I want to sell them a package? What if I wanted to create a product? How do I even make that decision? Part of the decision, it's not whether you deserve, and this is the hang-up that we have as practitioners. Our hang-up is somewhat of our worthiness, right? What do I deserve? Or most people in our industry, they're charging this. Well, that's irrelevant. It's not what you think you deserve, it's what you decide you want. So the very first thing that you need to do is actually decide as you're building this business, like, what do you want? What does that lifestyle look like? I have something that can help you. It's go to marybicknell.com/money map. That's marybicknell.com, and I'll put a link below so that you can click on it. So that money map actually allows you to figure out, like, what kind of lifestyle do I want? How much is that going to cost me? And now you can actually get into logic and to be into numbers mode and business, put your business hat on and make those decisions. Well, if I sold this many people, if I sold this many programs, if I did this many, and we're able to actually look at the numbers. Because so much of it is we want to get out of the emotion of it and into the logic of building a business. Make sense? And number 5, it's to be able to put systems into place. Okay, look. No winging it. You cannot be successful in your business by winging it, by just shooting, in the dark, throwing spaghetti at the wall, whatever. So here are a few of the systems that you really need to have in your business. And I teach clients 10 different systems. My goal is to just make it so simple. Now, building a business is not necessarily the easiest thing that you've ever going to do, but the goal is to simplify it and automate it and delegate it. So, for example, one system is client acquisition. Like, how do you obtain your clients? Client acquisition. Another is client support. Right? So what does that look like when you actually have a client? Is that automated? What is automated in your business? There's so many things that can save you time. So many things that can automate your business. There's no good reason for you to be doing almost anything by hand practically. There's so many things that can be automated, whether it's payments, whether it's calendaring, whether it's emails, just popping out and supporting your clients. Of course, marketing automation. Oh, so huge. So those are 5 of the steps that you need to get started or to springboard or to add to your current business model, your current practice. Let me tell you, I want to really encourage you. The world, it's like such a big opportunity. We have more opportunity today than we ever have. And as practitioners, you have more opportunity than you ever had as far as adding different revenue streams to your practice, to your business, and actually creating the money that you want. So it doesn't have to look like, you're trying to see 20 or 30 clients a week. That's exhausting, and it's not leverageable, and you're not able to scale that. So leverage means where you are not the one delivering the service all the time. And scaling means growing past that limitation of exchanging out money for an hour, even if it's good money, even if it's $100 an hour, $500 an hour, $1,000 an hour, great money. But, it's not sustainable for decades, is it? So this is Mary Bicknell. If you love it, give me some loving, give me some high fives. Put your questions in the question box wherever you're finding this, and I will get back to you. Email me directly at let me do that again. Email me directly. My email is mary@marybicknell.com. And I personally will answer your questions. I will not delegate this out or farm this out. So here's to you having the big, bold life and business that you deserve, reaching the people that you want, making a difference in the world, and still making a big profit. It's all available. I will see you soon. Bye.